Have you ever been around people that just drain you? They drain you. They drain your energy, right? They might be using you. They might talk about you, then talk nice about you, go back and forth. This could be your family. This could be friends. This could be people at work. These people are energy vampires. Today, we're going to tell you 9 things that energy vampires do. I want you to clear your mind of Count Dracula and the movies, right? The fantasy. We're talking real life. We're not talking literal vampires. Today, we're going to go into it right after this. You were a star child, let your light shine for all the world. When you open your mouth to reveal a pearl, let it shine more, just to light the path. If it don't add up, man, just do the math. If it ain't for you, let it pass on through.
I love Brotha T.
How you doing? This is Terrion Wilson, aka your boy Brotha T, here with another one. So we like to thank you and welcome you to the new life tree, where we like to give you little pine cones of wisdom for your mental health. If you don't know what that is, stick around, stay on the channel, you'll get it. Today we're going to give you 9 things that energy vampires do, and it's going to be a great episode. Everyone, I would say almost everyone at least, can't come in contact with an energy vampire. Your mother might be one right now, right? But I'm just kidding. But there are people they are around you all the time. Let's go into what an energy vampire is. An energy vampire is a person who intentionally drains your energy, and they feed on your willingness to listen and care for them. This leaves you exhausted and used. So think about it. This might be one of your parents. It could be your father. It could be your mother. It could be your sister. It could be your cousin. It could be your best friend, right? When they make you feel exhausted and overwhelmed because they always calling on you, right? They always calling on you. Or they might be a situation where they're nice to you, they're sweet to you, you leave out the door, they're talking about you and all this and that, right? This other person reports to you what the other person's saying. This also drains you, right? They're also feeding off your energy. They're feeding off the fact that you're always there for them to talk about. I hope this makes sense. This happens in our lives. A lot of us, especially people who are in relationships, if you're in any type of like trauma bonding type relationships, you will definitely be in a relationship a lot of times with energy vampires. Now, this could be positive or negative. Maybe they're feeding on the positive aspects of you. If you're a person that's always there for people, if you're a person with, they call it with a big heart, right? If you're a person that's always trying to do something for people and trying to be that reliable person every time somebody calls on you, this could be a good thing, right? At times, but also it could be a bad thing, because if you come in contact with one of these energy vampires, they're going to pick up on the fact that you're always there. You're always going the extra mile, and you'll do anything in your power to please the person. People pleasing is an easy way to get yourself in more stressful situations than you need to be in. It's also an easy way to end up with a stroke because you're sitting there and you're worried about, this person, if they're happy, and then, I got to help this person, and then this person needs me over here and this person needs me over there. You'll stretch yourself out to the point where your body will physically shut down sometimes, right? So you have to make sure you go into the habit of self-care. Self-care is very important for us out here. If we don't practice self-care, then we're always going to be stressed out. We're always going to let these energy vampires take advantage of us, because they see us out there and they see that we're always available. Our energy always goes to other people instead of ourselves. So take the time for self-care and make sure you take care of you. And I know that sounds like a cliche because everybody says it, but I mean it. Take care of you. Now, When you're taking care of you, this does not mean be mean to everybody else and don't be there for people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying don't get to a situation where they're intentionally using you because it's so easy, right? So back to the energy vampires. Let's go into the 9 things that energy vampires do. The first thing they do, they don't take accountability for anything. If you try to call one of these folks out on anything they do, they don't take responsibility for it. It could be anything. It could be something that you see them do in real time. You can have camera footage of it and show them, and they'll say, well, yeah, you see me doing that on camera, but it was because of this person, right? They made me do that. What you see on the camera right there. They'll do this. And then that'll keep you coming back to them for more. They can feed on more blood, right? Count Dracula. They always stay involved in some kind of drama. It's drama all around. Every time you talk to them, they're always going through something, right? I mean, have you ever met somebody, or do you know somebody in your family, maybe even you, right? And it seems like you're always going through this, drama in your life, right? Something's always happening to you. It's always the worst thing in the world, too. Every time you call them, right? It's like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to make it because such and such happened and such did this and somebody did something to him over here. Somebody did something to him over there. Or they might be causing drama in terms of actually literally doing stuff to other people. They also do that too. It's always something going on. Or sometimes they'll turn the tables and blame something on you and you'll be like, well, what are you talking about? It's like they're roping you into the drama, right? One thing you're going to find with all of these things that we named today is that they all revolve around energy, right? Energy is going this way, that way. It's a push-pull type of situation. Energy vampires. What else do they do? One up you. Right? No matter what you've done, no matter what the accomplishment is, they'll come right in and tell you what they did, or they've done that before, right? Like you might approach them and say, hey, I'm very excited because I just made this YouTube channel and I was putting stuff on there and they were getting a certain amount of views. And then I put one video on there and man, it might be going viral. They'll talk about the time that they went viral 5 years ago, right? They'll be like, oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I did that too. You know what I mean? 5 years ago. So, almost diminishing what you do. The next thing they'll do, they'll diminish your problems and play up their own. Just like the last one, right? Something positive happens in your life, they did it before, or they're doing it now, or they're about to do it, or that was the idea they had. On this one, you say, hey man, this happened to me and I'm feeling kind of bad. Oh yeah, that's sad. Yep. Yeah, but what I'm going through is this though. Like, wait a minute. And what this does, this takes your energy back and forth again. Remember, everything in this life revolves around energy, right? In certain type of ways. I'm not trying to get spooky. I'm speaking in practical language, right? There's energy all around you. So there's good, bad energy, positive, negative energy, I should say. So you're trying to let that negative energy go just by talking about it. And what they're doing is they're sending it back to you, right? And it goes back and forth. Energy vampires. Now, this one is a big one, right? Because they'll use your good nature against you. And we talked about this. We touched on it a little bit earlier, where if they know that you're always there for people in a way so where you almost sacrifice yourself in order to please another person, they'll take full advantage of it. That's why you have to make sure you practice self-care sometimes. And they'll start calling you for little insignificant things, right? They'll call you for stuff to do stuff that they could have easily called somebody else to do, or they could have did for themselves, right? And some people will do this on purpose just because they know you are available. And if you always stay available, I know you think you're doing a good thing, but sometimes you are. However, you don't want to do it to the point where you're not taking care of yourself. And if you're getting to the point where they can take advantage of you and they get what they want out of you, they're actually sucking your blood like a Count Dracula. That was a terrible accent. Don't tease me. The next thing they do, they'll act like a martyr. They'll say that, man, at work, they know that a lot of people are doing this and that, but they're picking on me, man. And they always are picking on me, and they're using me as an example of what they do to everybody else. And oh my God, my supervisor did this and they did that, and I know they just don't like me, and they're on me and they're on my head. Yeah, you're trying to be a martyr. You're trying to play yourself up as something you're not, right? Now, it is very true that you can be at a job and get picked on by the manager, right? I've been at jobs where managers were a little different towards me than everybody else, but I didn't use it as an excuse to do anything or not do anything. Actually, I always looked at myself and say, what in the heck did I do to make them view me this way, right? Either I changed it or I didn't, or I just went and did something else, right? That's how I want you to look at it. So they'll use this martyrism in order to get people to feel sorry for them. And that also saps your energy, right? If you're always worried about this person, if you're worried about consoling them, if you're worried about being there for them, they'll use guilt trips and ultimatums, right? This is a big one in relationships, right? This can be in a romantic relationship, or this can be like a friendship, that type of relationship, or family. Using guilt trips. Guilt trips work sometimes. They really do, because they get the other person to feel sorry for you, right? Okay, so the next one, they'll be codependent. All right. Now, when you get to that codependency, this could get tricky, because when we walk into a situation and we're not whole, if we are not at least semi-healed from past traumas, sometimes we can get into a codependent relationship, and they'll become dependent, these type of people, on your energy, right? They're dependent on the fact that you're going to be there. They're dependent on the fact that you're going to listen to their stories. They're dependent on the fact that you're going to feel sorry for them when they tell you what they're going through. They're going to they know, they trust that you are going to be there and you complete them, right? They don't feel whole without you being there and without using your energy to feel better. If you remove yourself, they'll feel like they're having a nervous breakdown, right? And they need you to be in their lives so they can continue to use your energy. I hope this makes sense to some people out there, because I'm trying to give you the game. All right. Okay, so the very last one, they'll criticize or bully. If you paid attention to the other 8, then you'll know that a lot of them are related to this one, right? When you criticize somebody, especially when it's working, especially if that person is not, if they have like self-esteem issues, or if they lack confidence, if they're not secure in who they are, criticism can really damage them. And if a person is doing this, especially if they're doing it knowingly, then what they're doing is they're using this in order to sap your energy, in order to knock you down a peg. Be aware of people that always criticize. Now, it's okay to criticize if it's constructive, right? Okay, but you don't want to be around a person that over criticizes you, and they do it over and over again. And some of the criticism goes into the realm of just being mean, right? A bully, right? They're doing stuff just to pick on people. Once it gets to that, then you know that this is not really constructive criticism. What this is vampirism. So what can you do about these energy vampires, these energy Draculas, right? I'm going to give you 5 things that you can do today to make the situation better, right? So first thing you can do, you can establish boundaries. If you establish boundaries, then you'll absolutely cut off a situation where they're constantly using your energy for the wrong purposes. The second thing you can do, you can adjust your expectations. You can tell the person, hey, I'm not going for this. I need you to do this do that, not do this, not do that. If they don't line up with that, then maybe you don't need to be around that person. The next thing you can do, don't give them an inch, because if they're really skilled at it, and some people really are, once they sense that they can get in there and misuse your energy, right? Some people will dig in there and get in there, how did they used to say that saying? They'll get in where they fit in, right? They'll get in there and they'll start using you wherever they can do. So be very careful. The next thing you can do, you can guard yourself. You can cut yourself off to certain things. And that goes into, it's almost the same as putting up boundaries, right? But you're putting a wall around yourself, so you only let it go so far. The last thing you can do, and this should be a very easy one for you to figure out, you could cut them off, right? Get them out your life. This works, especially if you know it's going to a very unhealthy place. All right, they don't take accountability. They stay involved in some kind of drama. They always end up one-upping you, or try to. They'll diminish your problems and play up their own. They'll use your good nature against you. They'll act like a martyr. They'll use guilt trips and ultimatums. They'll be codependent. Then they'll criticize and bully. This is your man, Brother T. I want you to stay away from these energy vampires. This stuff will drain you. I want you to get healthy out there and make sure you look out for people that really are using you. Check you on the next one, family. Peace.